Welcome to Uno Mas, where we get to know those who call YouTube their creative home. Today, we hear from Takeshine, a music and variety entertainment channel that currently sits just under 5,000 subscribers. We'll talk about his inspirations as well as the controversy that nearly ended his time on YouTube. We'll hear what he's learned from that controversy, how he's grown from it, and how he uses it to advocate for the betterment of others. All in this episode of Uno Mas. Well, I just wanted to start off. I found a hypothetical question that I think is really a goofy one.
I love hypotheticals.
And really starts off. It really starts off on a super serious and not weird at all, area. But let's say that you had an udder on your belly, right? And you get to choose 4 different liquids to come out of each teat.
Okay, so we got a selection of 4?
Endless. Yeah, so you could have them all be the same one, I guess. But what's fun in that? But endless supply of any liquid. All you have to do is just milk your udder to get it. What 4 liquids are you choosing?
That sentence alone is wild. Okay.
Yeah, just don't look at any part of that out of context.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm used to milking my liquid. Trust me.
Okay, that's yep.
What was I gonna say? Also, additionally, in case you hear a train pass by in the background, that is completely out of my control. That's my pet train. Me and my friends call it. That's Trina, my pet train.
Trina.
Yeah,
okay.
She'll make her rounds every now and again, but she tends to be relatively loud when she does. Scamper on through with her loud flat foots. Anyways, so 4 different liquids out of my udder. There's no limit, and it doesn't have any effect on my nutrition or any my bodily functions.
No, it's you function just as normal, except there's just this thing there that
it's
can
just
do its
there
own
now.
thing.
Okay, awesome. All right,
it's just there. Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, so you said liquids. It doesn't necessarily sound like it. Hey, I didn't call Uno. How do I do that? God, I just realized it. I don't even know how to call Uno.
There, it's in the lower right corner. Because you have buttons. I don't know. I don't know.
I can try with my cursor, but I was just like, "Huh, wait a minute, I'm missing something."
I won't just jump to it.
Uh-huh.
I'll next time if you have it, I'll try to let you have some time to figure it out.
I really appreciate it.
Maybe it'll have a little
thing
there,
that.
But then again, you just gave me +2, so maybe I won't. But
all bets are off now.
Yeah, I retract what I said.
I am so sorry. I understand.
Okay.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank
pushing
you for your hospitality.
The grace that I tried to offer you there.
You kept your foot in the door to open the threshold to me, and I kicked it in and then slapped you around a few times. Fucking the bot got me back. All right, 4 liquids. You didn't necessarily section it off to just drinkable fluids. So
correct.
What we're gonna do first, I'll go ahead and cover my ass and be on the safe side. One of them is just gonna be water. Just water. Everyone needs a good base. Why? I don't even have that fucking color. Damn it. So I'm gonna do water just because I'll never die of dehydration or anything like that. So I could pretty much survive in the desert, is what I'm saying. I'm a turtle now. Second of all, in this economy, I'm gonna choose for the second udder, or maybe I'll move diagonally to the 4th udder just so I don't mix these up one day and accidentally drink this. I'm gonna make the other one like gasoline for cars. So I may have to embarrass myself every time I get out of my car at the gas station and just pull a titty out and just go at it. Although, because
picturing you hugging your car.
Yeah, okay.
And somebody just going by and you're just
that's such. Yeah, but if I choose one of the lower udders, they're gonna be like, is this guy his gasoline intake? So I'll probably. I mean, I guess if I have that, I won't have to go to the gas station anymore. I'll just do it wherever I want. So I would just choose a secluded area, hop out, and just stick my nipple in. That is a terrible sentence.
Or don't. Again,
what
context.
is my Uno button? Let's see. Okay.
I didn't do that. That wasn't me that time.
Okay. I don't understand. Okay, I guess when I know I need to call Uno, I'll just switch over to my mouse. I guess we'll do it that way.
Or you can just spam buttons and see what
I
happens.
tried, but it happens so fast.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Anyway, though.
Yeah. So we got
So gasoline
nipples.
and water so far.
Yeah, we got nipples 2 and 3 vacant still. So this is where I can get jazzy with it. This is where I can get a little fun with it. Does it matter like the thickness of the liquid?
I feel like no. I mean, I would just assume that it may be more difficult to like curdle some stuff out of there, but I think that if it's a little more viscous, that's fine.
Okay. So I think for the third liquid, I'm gonna choose honey. I love honey.
Oh, okay.
You nut. Yeah. So we'll go. Okay. At least he did blue. Soften the blow. I will do honey just because I literally always run out and I drink a lot of tea and I don't want to run out anymore. And also, I'm pretty sure it has like really good qualities and other than that, like for like skin, it's good for your skin, especially your lips. It's just all around a very good thing to have. So that just leaves nipple number 3, and this is where I can really get just crazy insano style with it, but I'm not quite sure where I would end up with. But I think what I would do is like, okay, are you familiar with like agua fresca?
No.
What the fuck is this card? I just paused the game instead. Okay, what the fuck? Is this a blue? I guess this is a blue. Okay, agua fresca. There's different kinds, but I would probably get uh Pepe y limon. I believe that's what this one's called. My favorite one. It's pretty much a drink of lime, like fresh lime and cucumber. It's either pepelo, pepeño,
Sounds
or
like it would be
pepe or
pretty
some shit like
refreshing.
that. It is extremely refreshing, and I love. Oh God!
What?
Domestic terrorism at it
What is
again.
this?
I still don't have a blue. Come on. Okay.
Oh, I see what that does. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I just took one for the team. The South Tower is saved. So those are my 4 liquids.
Those are no, I like your approach to that because like I would also go with gasoline because like not only can you obviously fill up your car, but you could probably even sell it. And then you got a little bit of a money making thing going on.
I didn't think of that. Oh, fuck. That's horrible though.
Well,
Because if you think
regardless,
about it, people are gonna like start kidnapping me and shit with the power of my nipples. Oh, fuck.
that's actually well, that's the thing. You got to hide it so well because if you don't, traffic you to produce.
They just open it up. It's just some guy. It's just one guy in a shipping container. I'm just like, please let me out. I've been surviving off of nothing of honey and water.
Hey, at least you got the agua fresca.
Yeah, I guess I planned ahead for this. I guess I had like I had foresight on this. I'm like actually well prepared.
Yeah. Damn it. We'll just we'll keep him in here for a couple days. He won't have any nutrition. He'll be super weak, and then we can take advantage.
And then I bust out.
You come out.
Honey.
I've been
honey encased fists. Oh, thank God.
But no, I like the approach there because my go-to is poop. My go-to is also gasoline. But then I'm trying to think, and probably like I don't know, like caramel latte or something, like some sort of like sugary coffee because I really like that. Maybe G Fuel because I really like their flavors, but at the same time, I don't know which flavor. But then the one I get hung up on because I asked one of my friends this. I want your opinion on this. Okay, is there like a temperature limit to the liquids? Like if it's too hot, are you going to burn a teat, or like are you good because it's adapted and it's able to hold it?
Right.
Like, I want to know what approach to take this because he brought up a very valid idea of like liquid ore.
That's
so
huge.
Obviously high temp point, but like I mean,
Oh,
lot of money
well,
making
I
in
mean,
that, you know?
this is your hypothetical. So let's
Oh,
humor
that's
that for
true.
a minute. If we did have liquid
Mhm,
ore, some things can be so hot. Like think about it, the people who handle that stuff. They have protective gear on because if they didn't, then if they were using those ores, anything in the vicinity of it that isn't like like cannot hold that temperature value would just simply melt or
mhm.
burn or scorch. You know.
That's fair.
So it's like,
Actually, I'm gonna cut you off right there because I've made my decision. I don't want anything that hot next to my junk, so I'm gonna go ahead and
oh
just say
yes.
that that's gonna be a no-go.
Honestly, I respect that answer.
I didn't even think about that, and then you started talking about, like, the heat of it when it exits, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, but the locate oh god, no."
Well, I was thinking more so of like, well, if yeah, shoot this thing out of me, it's gonna be heavy, so it's gonna go straight down, and I'm gonna burn my toesies, you know. Or what if I got
Yeah.
my new Jordans that are definitely not fake? Like there'd be an issue.
Okay. Moving on to more practical and not as nonsensical questions. Um, I have a couple that, well, actually, literally a couple. I just have two kind of get to know you questions.
Hmm.
So, first one, obviously, content creation would be a hobby. What other hobbies may you have?
I just took the last bite of my sandwich, so sorry. Okay,
That's fine. Keep me waiting.
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm not on a podcast or anything. I promise. We're good. We're good. Um, other hobbies of mine, like you said, besides the content creation, all that goes into that. So, um, video editing, crying while video editing. I suppose that's out of the question as well. That was the wrong button.
Well, yeah,
But
it's implied.
yeah, it's implied. So, one of my bigger hobbies, is singing, music writing, playing guitar, like music in general, like recording music and
Hmm.
such. Um, I've been singing for probably 7, 8 years now, so it is definitely one of my favorite things to do. It's passion. I probably sing every day. I like don't go a moment without singing pretty much, even if it's just me like singing a sentence, like I sing. Um, I love basketball. I don't play it nearly enough. When I'm not doing anything at all, I like to do arts and crafts, so I'll pick up some painting. I'll work on a pair of shoes. Um, I just get crazy with it when it comes to arts and crafts and do just about everything. Uh,
Hmm.
I love video games, even though I'm god awful at them. I'm so bad at like at the if that wasn't if that wasn't apparent enough. Um, so I'm a video gamer, and I don't. I really want to pick out one more because I don't want to end that whole that phase with. Oh yeah, I'm a gamer. So your next question, right? Uh, oh, okay. I deeply enjoy, and I've been doing it since a kid. I love art. I love drawing. I love digital art. I got into. There was like a learning curve to that, but I probably become better at digital art than traditional art. But I do love stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like over the years, I definitely enjoyed like drawing more and doing more of the anything creative, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like over the years, it's just like kind of all funneled into doing more like tech type stuff, you know, with well, like video games and making videos out of them. Because really, I feel like I don't play anything anymore unless it's. I mean, it's rare that I play it without it being intended to eventually be in a video or a part of it being a video. Um,
I would say, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
but no, you're fine. I was just saying that everything, like all the creative, like kind of ambitions and stuff, have now just kind of funneled into doing like content in some way or another.
Right. Yeah. I was just gonna say
But I used to do all that
I
too.
probably turn around and like I took a different approach to it because I was starting to go that way where I was like, okay, every time I play a game, my friends are just so funny, so I'm just gonna hit record. But
Mm-hmm.
Um, I kind of just learned to just be able to have those like specific games. Still the wrong button. I could have won just then. I'm gonna let you know right now. I could have won. That hurts. That hurts so
Get good.
bad. Okay. Damn it. Just try this again. Yeah. So I have dedicated games, especially games where from like the major community census, people would probably clown on you for playing them. I play games like that. Um,
Hmm.
so it kind of
What would be an example of some of those?
for example, one I get I get for the most because of the stigma around it that people it's kind of like you know how not too many years ago people shit on anyone who played League of Legends and the
Mm-hmm.
bandwagon hate that came with that and the stereotypes and
Yeah.
stuff. Um so I play one of the more tame ones, the more mild ones. I'll start with that to really soften the intro to this one. Is I started playing Valorant a lot. So
Okay.
that one's not too bad. That's just kind of like, it happens more. Okay, cool. Good game. Uh I would have won, dude, if I just knew my button layout. That's so unfortunate. But yeah, so
Sure. I'm sure it lagged too.
I
I'm just kidding.
I'll clip this game right now. Don't test me. Um the other game again is met with nothing but negativity. It would be Genshin Impact.
Hmm.
I play
I haven't seen too
Genshin.
much about that, but I've certainly heard the hate.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know anything about like the gameplay or anything.
The gameplay is honestly not bad. It is the poor man's Breath of the Wild, whether or not the community wants to agree on that. I've met
Hmm.
really kind people through Genshin Impact. In fact, the reason why I got into it was my ex-girlfriend, and then I just kind of kept playing it. I don't play it nearly as often now, but I still will like hop on it and stuff like that. But I just enjoy the
Hmm.
game for what it is. A lot of people take it face value. Oh, their characters are sexualized anime characters, when in fact not many of them are. I can say obviously they go a little wacky with the proportions sometimes of some characters, but that's to be expected. Like you got to keep people coming, I suppose. Not in that way. I just realized I probably should have worded that better. Um
I wasn't going to say anything,
yeah.
but thank you for clarifying.
The other one would be um there's a big stereotype that people who play Genshin Impact are like uh let's just say they're not the favorable kind of people to have around children, I suppose, is probably like
Oof.
is probably the more appropriate way of putting that. So I would I would get shit for this, and there's other games like Fortnite. I still get shit for that occasionally, but I would get shit for playing this game, and it wouldn't even be like I'm saying I'm playing the game or streaming it. It would simply be people in my friends list on Discord would look and see that my activity says Genshin, and then go and DM me to talk shit. And so I had to turn that off so people don't know when I played that specific game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is now it is definitely a guilty pleasure of mine to occasionally boot up the game. The game's beautiful. I like the art style and the music's, it's chill. I want to turn my brain off
Yeah.
for a few hours. I just play that game. It's nice.
What kind like you said that you love to sing, and I've seen pretty often you're creating different kind of music, but what is your favorite music to like listen to?
To listen to,
Hmm.
um, if you would have asked me less than a year ago, I would have just said straight up like rap slash hyper pop, which I suppose to a degree still reigns true. But nowadays, I fell in love with indie music, indie pop, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Grant Perez and Pum Vifrit have a chokehold on me right now. Hey, thanks, Blah, for calling out Blah. I really appreciate that. Oh, you son of a bitch. This guy. But yeah, so that's what I listen to now, and I love to listen and play indie pop the most right now. All right, I guess I
Hmm.
have to play this.
Okay.
We just made so interesting. I can already see this blowing up in my face.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with what kind of like. I guess what that kind of music would be. Like in indie pop and like stuff like
It
that.
just this
Um,
specifically is like, jazz chords, real jazzy music, really spices stuff up.
hmm,
Yeah. And then the
okay,
guy's voice, those two's voices are just so beautiful. It like pushes me to learn to sing even better.
let's see. So, looking more into your channel now. What led you to start posting on YouTube?
Oh man. This came from childhood. I've always wanted to do YouTube. Even when I couldn't afford the setup, I literally was just using a janky Android phone or tablet. Oh man. It started off, funnily enough, with making videos with my friend at the time in elementary school on her channel. I'm pretty sure it's not even up anymore. Uh she liked playing with My Little Pet Shop, and was a loser as a kid, so I didn't have many friends. So I would just go over and we would record My Little Pet Shop videos because she watched them and she thought those were the shit. So I was like, yeah, okay, I can do this, you know. And from there, I moved on to getting like toys of mine and doing stop motion. So I did
Hmm,
Minecraft stop motion for a bit. These never saw the light of day. Also, I will say that. Eventually, along the line, around the time I made a YouTube channel, and up for the longest was a video of literally my brother's name and a stock video from YouTube and stock music from YouTube. The dumbest shit ever. And it literally just said, "My brother's name is a F slur." And that was it.
uh,
And that was up for years. It literally, I think months ago, I just finally took it down because I forgot I had it up still. My God, it was so funny. Uh, it was just the stock. Okay, you know that one road that's like a bunch of hedges and it's like the street like going zigzag you know what I'm talking about?
I think
It was
so.
just a
Yeah.
stock image of that video of that street, and the cars were like piled up in traffic, and there was just nothing. I think I put like a red circle, so I guess I invented the whole like clickbait thing.
Oh my.
Yeah. s- So very humble, but my game is stuck. I guess I have to do that.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Um, I then started to actually take it relatively serious, and my first video came out. I don't think it's still up on the channel. Um, but it was a handheld video recording of me playing BioShock Infinite on my Xbox 360. I
Okay.
will love that video for the rest of time because there was so much wrong with it. I edited it on a mobile editing software, and I remember one of the sound effects kept repeating. I just didn't know how to do sound effects, so they just kept repeating. The transitions and the editing was like bad, but it was like I can appreciate it for what it is because it was like really a diamond in the rough, and I could see like okay, I could definitely see how I got from there to here with the ambitions I had. You know, I just needed to get there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So from there, slowly but surely, I was like, let me start taking this more seriously. So I started having my homies, you know, they would. I'd even record a lot of my first videos. I had to have homie. God, I just realized. Oh, that's so fucked. That's so fucked. Oh man,
Wait. Do you get more?
I got more because of the bomb and because you called it out. So plus the
Gosh
two,
dang it.
plus the three, so I got five back.
Oof.
That's rough. Anyways, a lot of my first videos weren't even my like me recording them. I had to have a friend of mine record them, and I would crop out that it was his name, and then I'd go ahead and start
Oh.
doing the subtitles and stuff.
Hmm,
Yeah.
I see. Uh, what were your like inspirations? If there was any channels that inspired you to, or if just maybe it's like life events or something that had inspired you to start doing that. So
Um,
there was what led you to start posting, but like what was the kind of inspiration? Was it just that friend that had kind of invited you to do that stuff? Kind of
it
awakened this kind of desire to do
as
it,
far
or
as childhood goes, it was that as well as watching at the time like Vanoss Gaming and stuff like that.
hmm,
I was a big nerd for that kind of stuff. Even if like at the time I was living in Georgia, my friends showed me that right before I left, and I didn't have internet after that. So I just kind of had like these ideas of these friends having so much fun on these different games. I was like, oh wow, someday I would love to do that. And that just kind
hmm,
of stuck with me. And it wasn't till high school, freshman year, I was like starting to consider the idea of doing it again. I was like, I had a lot of fun doing that. I would like my to try my hand at that again all these years later. And so
hmm.
I did exactly that, and I started making Discord videos because the funniest dude in the world to me my freshman year was Call Me Carson.
What's your opinion on him now?
Um, you know, it's not even necessarily the initial situation that was the catalyst to his pretty much his downfall, because I don't think he really can make a resurgence now. It was more so the stories after the fact of like, I have a friend of mine who knew Carson before he was big and told me how like he stopped being friends with him because of how much of a loser he was. Um,
Hmm.
and then the whole story with narrator and him talking about how he treats his friends and like how he was and how he didn't have an off switch and he was wrapped up in so many layers of irony. And the weekly slap came out, so all that kind of those things like kind of like opened my eyes, like,
Yeah.
feel a little icky about it.
Well, yeah, I was just never mind. But yeah, no, he used to be pretty funny and stuff. So,
Yeah. From there, it went to Fits, the Misfits in general, their
ooh,
hype year, their peak, and then
hmm,
nowadays it is about Isaac Y and Soft Willie in that group.
I see. Yeah, they those were ones that really were kind of my. Like I said, I based the channel off of Game Grumps just because of the style of it. I really liked.
Yeah.
But I had always like throughout high school, I was watching like Vanoss and shortly after that, then Fitz and Swagger Souls and all them. Um,
Oh, no.
I actually did a video. Oh, nice. That's fun. I actually did a video on my channel of doing a editing challenge like Fitz.
Yeah.
It's like I edited a video like Fitz, and that was kind of fun to do. Um, but no, they were all pretty I'd say inspiring as well when it come into me trying to do like multiplayer content of like more funny moments stuff.
Yeah.
So these these are fun ones I think to ask, but like what I guess it could be maybe what were the previous names of your channel if there was different ones, or what was your first gamer tag, whichever one, if not both, are applicable.
I can't remember. We'll start off with the gamertag one. I don't even remember my
Okay.
first gamertag. I think I was too poor to own an Xbox or anything like that, so I didn't really have a choice for that kind of stuff. But one
Oh.
of them that sticks in mind will always be my friends. When I would go to my friend's house and play on his Xbox, we would also like always use his account all the time. And I will always remember being up late at night getting Xbox Live for him for the first time so we could play Minecraft with somebody. And his name was Homemade Rock, and so
Mm,
and like some other assortment of numbers. So that's that one. When I started doing YouTube, it started off as Unmasked Panda because I love pandas, and I felt like it's cringy, a little bit corny at now, but I was like Unmasked. It was like this is my actual personality because um, I was a very shy and like timid person in real life because I was very like
mm,
I was kind of embarrassed of myself for the longest because growing up where I was as dumb as a sack of hammers, which I kind of did it to myself, and I also was just like fat, and I didn't know at the time my like ethnicity or anything like that. I just didn't know who I was, truthfully. But
mm.
on the internet, I was like, that doesn't really matter. I can be who I want to be, you know? and
Yeah.
so I picked that up, and then eventually I dropped the panda, and I was just unmasked, and then some poor life decisions when I was still a kid caused me to really sink that boat for myself, and so unmasked was no mas. Uh,
Hmm.
and I picked up this Take Shine because I just kind of like I like the term like to take shine is like the positivity or the light you need in your life. Like take that with you. That's what I want the
Hmm.
takeaway to be. You know.
Yeah,
So
that makes
and I
sense.
don't think I plan on changing my name anytime soon. I'm pretty happy with Take Shine. And a lot of my friends, it's when I hear my friends call me like Shine, like it just feels appropriate. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah.
Gotcha. I like the breakdown of your what it is now
Hmm.
as well. I like hearing the meanings behind a lot of them and stuff.
Yeah, because I can have offensive because okay, so going back to the whole misfits thing, they're great people, they're good people, and they
Yeah,
even if they tease each other and like mess with each other, like you can tell they're really great friends, like extremely great friends, and
yeah, they crap on each other, but they're supportive
yeah,
of one
and
another and
not
and
even
are
to
there for each
mention
other.
their content is offensive. You know, they made very offensive content when they first came out, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna make offensive comments here and there because that's just how I came about, you know.
Hmm.
I've of course like I've refrained from certain humors like as time goes on, as one does. Again, Misfits doing this the same, for example. That sucks. Well, um, yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna make offensive humor, but my goal is to make you laugh and make you smile. And if that happens,
Yeah.
like I've done my job.
Hmm.
I don't know what button that is.
I see.
Yeah. Oh, he's
Okay.
just kicking our ass right
Um.
now.
Yeah. Really.
Get fired.
Earlier you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm listening.
uh, Earlier you had mentioned, I think your first video or somewhere early on. I think you said Android or a tablet of some
Oh yeah.
kind. But what did you use to film your first video? Uh, this is
Um.
a kind of a go-to question for me, I think, because it's fun seeing the contrast. Um, for example, I mean, there are plenty that it's like an iPad aimed at a monitor, you
Yeah.
know. Um, but like seeing, because I mean, really, when you're starting out, if you have that desire to create, you use what you got,
Right.
you know. And but to see then the contrast of like now this gaming setup kind of thing, or
Yeah.
whatever it may be, is kind of cool.
I mean,
So,
as a kid, you don't really have much of a choice, at least because like YouTube wasn't necessarily a big thing. I mean,
hmm.
not as big as it is now as a kid. It was big, don't get me wrong, but like if you said you wanted to do content creation as a kid, I guess the truth is still alive now, but even more so back then, they would have not taken you seriously. So really, it was just whatever phones our moms had at the time, what kind of
Hmm.
Android she got for a good deal from her service provider, or if my friend lucked out and got an iPad, or not even iPad, but like just a tablet, because we were all poor. It would be like some Android tablet. Um, Additionally, I would say getting into when I started taking it seriously, starting out, we started off on my iPhone and a Chromebook.
Okay.
That's why I'm always such an advocate for people to, if they wanted to start, like, if they wanted to start making video content and stuff like that, man, we're just getting our ass handed to us by these bots, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
But yeah,
freaking blah.
wah. But for
Blah.
those who want to start content creation, dude, it is absolutely doable. If you have the desire, you have everything at your disposal with just an
Hmm.
iPhone to do so.
Yeah, I mean, especially with like, I mean, every phone, every tablet, it's like you can find, no matter how crappy it is, a pretty basic video editor, and it's like so you could do it that way, or with YouTube Shorts, it's like there's nothing highly nothing high quality necessarily needed for that even.
Yeah.
You just need the desire to create, and you'll make it work. But kind of equipment are you using now
Uh,
to look at the other like
well,
the
I'm
contrast element?
extremely grateful for where I am, so I'll be very specific. My PC is
Okay.
probably I think it's only this amount because I did this during quarantine like a dumbass. My PC is about
The-
$1,000 in specs. I have a Rode Pod mic, which I use
hmm,
voice meter for virtual audio, and then again, um, I use a Scarlett Solo for the gain control and all that jazz. Two monitors
mhm.
that are very high quality. Um, a Model D mouse. I know that's such a weird thing to call out, but dude, I'm so happy I have a proper mouse now. So I will say that. And then honestly, this keyboard in front of me I've had since my freshman year, since I wanted a PC so bad. And I'm kind of honestly, this is the last thing I've waited to upgrade because it just like it serves as a reminder of how far I've come from when I had a keyboard
Hmm.
but no computer, you know? So
Yeah.
I just keep that in mind when I look at it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have a very
Um,
comfy
I,
setup now though.
nice. I did see something in your Discord server where I think you're aiming to upgrade, or I don't know if it's a new PC or
Mhm. Yeah.
was that
So this
you're
PC
aiming for
yeah, this PC
something?
I'm aiming for a goal hopefully by if if I have that sort of support, I don't know. If I create good enough content for people to want to support enough, I want to be able to use proper donations to upgrade this PC that's equivalent to my build right now, but just slightly better for like half the price.
Hmm.
And then I'll turn around and probably sell my PC for a reasonable price to friends of mine who I also know want to start content creation to give them that like spark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is
Cool.
the idea anyways. If they whatever they ended up doing with it truthfully is up to them. If they want to just play video games or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Um, you had mentioned having a Rode Pod mic. That's one keep looking at. I don't need it for like like my recording here at home, but it's kind of nice to. It seems to be a decent quality travel
Yeah.
mic.
It's doing
Like
its job.
pretty easily transported, plugged into. I don't know,
I haven't done
transported,
any
but
research on this mic that popped up on my radar, but I'm thinking about the podcaster, or I'm thinking of just. I've waited this many years, so I'm probably gonna continue just saving up and like waiting because this microphone's doing
hmm.
its job like a soldier. I want to get the MV7 or the SM7B, and that's kind of like my
Oh,
dream
nice.
mic right there.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I ended up saving up for and getting is the SM7B. And dude, I have no complaints
That's
at
huge.
all.
Yeah,
One thing you should be aware of with it though is that it is a very gain hungry mic.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
And so you may, depending on your audio interface, may be worth looking into like a cloud lifter or one of those little inline
Right. Well,
preamps.
I will say that even with this pod mic alone, I would have needed a cloud lifter for it. So
Mm,
that's the thing. The cloud lifter is more expensive than the microphone itself. So
yeah,
I will need to. Yeah, I'll probably need to do those two.
but let me see. The first public video on your channel is Hot Pockets, an animated short. What did you what did you use to animate this video? Like what
um,
did the creation process for this look like? Because it looked, I don't know, it is like there's a couple elements where I'm like, I think maybe use this program, then you did something where I'm like, oh wait, maybe not. Like I was kind of curious on that.
I drew those stills up on my iPad and then I airdropped them over to my iPhone, and I used KineMaster to edit the video.
Oh,
All of it was done by
okay.
mobile. I had a PC at the time, but it was so jank that Adobe Premiere took ages to edit on. In fact, there was a video I had up
Hmm.
on my channel that I did get through a video editing on that laptop. I think it's probably unlisted now, but it was a video of me and my friend Josh, and we were just watching silly videos on YouTube and just like reacting to them. It was so
Hmm.
it was nearly as funny as it was in my head at the time, but like it was a good it was a banger for the meantime.
Yeah. Is that what you use to edit? Is Adobe
Yeah,
product?
so I use Adobe Premiere now to edit all my videos.
Nice. That's I made that jump probably 2 years ago now, and God, yeah, no, it's the potential there is
Yeah,
crazy.
because
I love
on
learning more
on
about it.
KineMaster, which again, for those who want to start editing, KineMaster, as far as mobile goes, as far as I'm aware, is the way to go. It gave me a lot of freedom, but there is also that there's going to be that wall or that barrier. And when I
Hmm.
transferred over to Adobe for the first time, like I would hear all the time from my friends the strides I made in editing, like just hitting the ground running. Like every single video, something improved, everything improved. Like
Hmm.
it's where it is now. I still think, which is the object of content creation, even now, my videos, like every step of the way, every video, I improve in some aspect.
Hmm.
Because you just take what you
And I mean, yeah,
learn.
that should always be the strive too. I mean,
Yeah.
um, I feel like the way I've applied it, because I'm always trying to learn new tricks and stuff, new styles and all that. Like recently at work, they had a marketing department and they were like trying to do some different videos, but they're like, yeah, we don't really know what we're doing. And then my boss is like, I heard this guy edits. And I'm like, oh, great. I guess
Everyone looks
volunteer
over
me
at
for it.
your, yeah.
But because of that, like because of just doing gaming and not like there's elements of the software that you're not going to get into just doing games.
Right.
But like when actually handling video, it's like I finally started learning a bit of like color correction and like, you know, stuff like that to make it look more natural.
Yeah.
And, but like, even just when it comes to like editing styles, it's like you see something on YouTube that you really want to mimic. And it's like, okay, how do I do that? And it's I don't know. I kind of probably got off point of like where I started the sentence going, but like I
Oh, good.
I genuinely like learning more in editing,
Yeah.
and that's pretty cool. And that's something I've noticed in the videos I've seen of yours is that I think you do make quite a bit of effort in the editing department, and it looks
Uh,
good.
as far as this recent video I have out on my channel goes, it took me over 30 hours.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, well, I thought you were saying something like, oh, this project, but I wasn't really like paying attention too much to the details, but I looked at the length of the video and then the work that was going in just in the first couple minutes. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this took some time.
Yeah, that definitely took a lot of time in the oven. And honestly, I'm still not necessarily happy with the out product on some parts of the video but
Hmm.
I just post it for what it was because I the night before that video came out, I was up till 5:30 in the morning just to make sure everything was
Mm.
finished. And I literally had class the next day, and I was in my psychology
Oof.
class making the thumbnail for the video to come out on time. I made that thumbnail in probably like 5 minutes because I already knew what I wanted to do on my iPad that I brought to school. I was iPad
Hmm.
kid in front of everyone, and I had no shame. I just had to get it done.
So looking at that first video, I make sure to include the part where it says first public video. Was there any videos on your channel now that have since been privated or deleted, or was that the first upload?
There's a lot, honestly. I want to say that is still, regardless of any videos private at that time, that is still the very first video of my channel as far as like when I started taking it relatively serious. Um from there, I decided to share the channel at one point for a very brief moment in time with my cousin, and he made like some GTA funny videos. And then when I switched over to Unmasked, there's a few videos that I just kept privated because from that community, like things obviously it didn't end on the best terms, so I kept the some of the
Hmm.
videos from that privated to ensure, like, in case some people wanted their privacy or didn't really want to associate with me. So I just took it off.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I
I see. How many do you think that you got rid of? Whether, like I said, whether privating or um, deleting.
probably somewhere around 8 to 9
Okay.
full length projects that some people will never see. There's some video we old friends and new friends alike, we still will sometimes open up my YouTube studio and go back and watch some old videos, whether for memories of those times or just some video ideas that I had that not everyone thought were as funny as I did, but I still think to this day are funny. Like we'll go and I'll
Hmm.
one of the things I'll do kind of like as a trial by fire is anyone like I'm introduced to new, I will show them said videos. Damn, you just got him with his own bomb. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That was a good play. But yeah, we'll go back and watch those videos because I still think it's hilarious, like listening to people's reactions to them.
Yeah.
Like if you were to
I don't.
go ahead,
Go ahead.
sorry. I was just
Nope.
gonna say that if you were to utter the words like "let me take my vitamins" around my friends, a very select few of them would probably like groan or just be
Mm.
like go into a psychotic break. Like they and that is all I will
Just like
shed
one
light
of
on.
those kind of inside jokes probably found in that video.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Eventually, I might
Um.
re-upload it. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I don't. I definitely love looking back on old videos
Mhm.
because it is kind of like this accessible library of memories, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and so it's fun to look back on them. So usually I try to take a look at kind of the, like on the surface, a timeline of videos, kind of looking at them from my perspective, doing what kind of dives I can do into it. But really, I feel like the best way to kind of look over and summarize maybe a timeline of content is from the person who's making it. So I didn't know if you would want to kind of look back and think back on your channel and kind of, um, I guess, explain like maybe the approach to content at the time, uh, why you like kind of were going about the videos you were making. Cause like earlier on, it looked like there was a couple different music ones, but then there was like mixed in some gaming videos as well.
So as I mentioned, like at the time, freshman year, Call Me Carson was a big influence on me. And then I also watched Fits. So I wanted to do Discord content and I also wanted to do gaming content. And then Carson started doing gaming content. I was like, oh, okay, so I can branch out. I can do that. Like, you know what I mean? Very following
Hmm.
closely behind with the inspirations of what I can and can't do of the time to really make sure that I'm doing the appropriate things. But I've always had this passion for singing and just music in general. So I was like, how do I incorporate that? That's why there's that split where it's like, yeah, I'm doing funny content on Discord. Here's a guitar tutorial on how to play this song by Wilbur Soot, which at the time was like my favorite like creator to play. Um,
Hmm.
Here, let me help you out again. I think I did this last game. You won.
Unfortunately, your efforts
Uh,
are in vain because I did not.
well, let's hope.
I did get Uno again, though, I
Okay, let's hope
suppose.
Bois fixes it. Okay, huge.
Oh, wait, what? What?
Hey,
What?
wait, what the fuck?
Oh, I didn't know what that card did. It gives it gives plus however many to other players, but apparently only the ones to our. Ah,
Damn, Bois is just in it right now. Fuck it. Shout out Bois. Oh my god. He's killing it. I'm not even gonna lie.
jeez.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So that was the way I was going about it. I didn't quite know how to incorporate the 2, and it wasn't till the falling out that was unmasked where I was just like I started taking approaches. I was like, "Well, I know no one's watching me now, so I'm just
Mm.
going to do what I think is what I wanna do." And so the first video I dropped was freestyling with strangers on Discord, or sorry, on CS:GO, and I loved that idea. I was like, I love like rapping and freestyling and being a dumb. So I was like, let's do it. I'm down. And then that went pretty well. And then I just was like, you know what? I actually enjoy making CS:GO videos. Let's make another one. And I still had a few lined up, but I just never got around to them, so they just kind of died off over time. And then I started meeting my new friends, and we started playing games together. And then I would just tell them like, "Hey, what do you think of this idea of me like because I okay, let me Trina, calm down. Um, hey, don't you backtalk me. Um, I met my friends, and what I was doing before the death of Unmasked is what I call it. I did a lot of performing in different servers, and that's what made me like grow at the degree I did at the time. And
Hmm.
then honestly, after the whole situation, I was just too ashamed to even sing for others. But I still did
Hmm.
quietly like sing by myself, or sometimes in a VC of people I could really trust, like felt like friends, like who I was like, you guys are just here for me, it's not because of like the name attached or anything. So I would just sing, and people would be like, I would just get a lot of compliments, and people would be like so supportive. And so I asked them one day, I was like, what if I were to like do this, but what if I record it this time? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's exactly what I ended up doing. I chose servers to perform in, but this time more of my content style. Because at the time I was like, what's big right now? Minecraft YouTubers? All right, let's go in there. Let's fucking show them. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was my only idea at the time. But this time I was like, you know what? I like the goons. I'm into the goons right now, and the dude plays guitar. I'll have to go in the dude. I'll go to the dudes server. Um, I popped back in the software server, but I got banned from that because of prior people like targeting me, because apparently they
Oh.
still weren't done with me, I guess. Um so I chose to join servers of content creators I personally enjoy, and I've been doing that every now and again still, and I just would record videos with it. And
Hmm.
so then
Um.
yeah.
So, like, you don't have to by any means answer if you don't want, and if you want to and then exclude it, then that's fine too.
Uh-huh.
I'm just not a little, confused about like what you're saying with the them targeting you and some of them being not very welcoming.
Yeah, so
It sounds like drama, but like I
it is
said, you don't have
drama,
to
and
answer. Or
it's I don't pay it much mind just because it's 2 years later now, and the positive reinforcement in comparison to like the people against me kind of just like speaks for itself. But I am
Hmm.
an open book, and I have no problem talking about it, the issue. So 17-year-old on Discord already sounds like what comes to mind when you picture that alone? Of like,
Yeah.
my first win. That's not what
Oh,
comes to mind,
nice.
but hey, I won.
Oh God,
That's
the
huge.
different approach.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
but anyway, nice though on that.
um, I've corroborated with other. Oh, I just clicked quit on accident. God.
Oh, you're fine.
It's-
I'll back out. We'll start up again.
all right, but yeah. So I've corroborated with other people who have relatively the same story of just like not having um that proper like online presence slash etiquette. This wasn't
Hmm.
something that was really brought to our attention as something that really needed to be taken into account. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
so a lot of people think I made the decision, just to preface this, out of just like just purely ill intent. Like I just wanted to I wanted to benefit or like gain something out of it just purely at my own accord. But in reality, it was
Mm.
just because I was uneducated and I wasn't the repercussions of my actions weren't truly expressed to me. My moral compass as a teenager, as a minor still, wasn't necessarily like checked. So
Mm.
I
Mm.
made poor decisions which looked like, as a 17-year-old on Discord, you're horny.
Oh.
Your hormones are ridiculous, and I was such a boy mentality, and I'll get to why. But the way this spiraled out of control was I was hitting on girls, um, in my circle, people who found me through music, singing, and I invited them to my server. A lot of people. This was around the time of the Call Me Carson situation.
Mm.
Call it a callback. This is a
Mm.
whole full circle moment, and so pitchforks were already up in arm in cancel culture to look out for these things. Everyone was already pretty jumpy on this. And so my situation, although everyone being involved, like no one was, it was like we were all minors. We were all making poor decisions as like kids. Um, so I was hitting on girls my age, and then we were also doing like freaky stuff. I don't really need to go into more than that. I'm pretty sure just being that idea on Discord alone should give you the reference you're thinking of. So, a lot of people want to make the argument that it was a power dynamic because I had like my YouTube channel, which 5,000 in comparison to those on YouTube who have millions of subs, like that just doesn't register. There's no power dynamic there. I have
Mm.
5,000 people. I don't even care about my numbers, so I don't know why that was even taken into account. I think they were just trying to cover all the bases to the formula in which we observed from Carson's situation. The next thing was grooming. They thought I was grooming people again because of the power dynamic and stuff like that. But in reality, I met these people and talked to them personally and became and befriended them before I even told them about my channel and stuff like that. Introduced them to my community. These are people I was like genuinely interested in.
Mm.
Um, and that's something that many of them probably didn't even know at the time, which again, it's not their fault in any capacity. But I was just genuinely interested in them. But I also was just a horny kid. I was a horny dumbass. And so that came across extremely wrong, and I don't blame the people who for taking it the way that they did. But eventually, it got to the point where I was questioning, like, "Is this right? Should I be doing this?" And context now, no, I shouldn't have been doing it, you dumb fuck. But at the time, I didn't know that. I didn't have that voice.
Mm.
Um, and so I remember the night before the situation happening, I literally asked my friends, what do you think about this kind of stuff? And also, like, what's your age gap of where you're like, this is where it cuts off? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And my idea was it was a 3-year age gap is maximum. Nothing underneath that. That's just disgusting.
Mhm.
But they also said 2-year age gap max. The 3 years seems a little too far apart. And that night, I was like, what I'm doing is wrong. I took into account exactly what they said and was like, yeah, okay. I'm going to just stop doing this. But the damage was already done. It was already too late. I
Mm.
think the next morning I woke up and I had this whole expose on my own server. Um, People were coming out about their stories against me, and I was like none the wiser at the time that my own like friends recording group, they were also in on it, on the expose and
Oh.
spearheading it even. And it was fueled a lot by emotions. And I was duped into giving up ownership of my server because he said he would protect it in case, like, if I have to go down, at least they'll have the server. So like they have that community still, but in reality, what happened was I was kicked from my server, and they opened up a VC, they closed all the channels, locked everything, and was pretty much telling everyone that Unmasked is dead. Like, this is done. This is no more. This is what's happening. It's over.
Hmm.
Uh, and the reason why I say it was fueled by emotion, not necessarily the actions of the other people. Theirs was valid. It's all valid. Don't get me wrong, but my friend at the time was just so angry with me for like other reasons because they felt like I wasn't being a good friend, and they turned around and they did that.
Hmm.
And what we found years later, those exact same friends, because we all got in a group and we all apologized to one another, and uh the same guy who spearheaded it all, he even agreed and was like admitted to it be feeling to an extent by emotion. And within 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, the whole legality thing they tried to pin against me, he literally found a loophole.
Hmm.
And I was like, so if you just took that 5 or 10 minutes, none of this situation would have even have occurred. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I'm grateful for experience because I'm still here, and I'm not even saying that in an egotistical way, like they couldn't take me down, but I persisted. I knew who I was as a character, as a person, like as my character, my personality.
Hmm.
I know that I wasn't a monster or the shit person that a lot of people were claiming me to be. I know who I was at the end of the day. Now, with that situation, I will say that um who I thought I was as a person was definitely like I started asking myself, was I really a monster for this thing? But in reality, it's like, no, I just wasn't educated. I wasn't aware. It wasn't my fault. And here is why. You can say it's not your fault and that you didn't know any better. Because no matter what our age is, well, except when you start really getting up there in age, I suppose after a while, it's like you should have known this by now. But as a 17-year-old, uh, I didn't know any better because I just didn't have the best role models growing up.
Hmm.
My dad cheated on my mom, and then he cheated on his next wife, and then she cheated on him 5 times. I'm airing his laundry out. I don't give a fuck. Um, my brother, who I looked up to, he had also cheating scandals with his partner, and the males in my life were always talking about just bitches and like having as much sex as possible and all that,
Hmm.
and never really brought up the repercussions of it. And the only repercussions would be don't get her pregnant and don't get STDs, not necessarily the emotional aspect and shit like that.
Hmm.
It again, shit things, but I didn't know any better. I truthfully did not. Um, so I didn't have that chance to really express that properly to those who needed to hear it. Um, and so it crashed and burned because of the lack of knowledge necessary for me to make those choices. I didn't even get to say Uno.
Yeah, he did that really fast.
Yeah, well, Jesus Christ. We have him on veteran mode.
I did. I don't know.
So, learning what I did from that situation, I moved on to practice better communication and transparency with those around me. So, any new friends I made along the way, the first thing I would do is brief them on my past and like full expression on the matter, because even then this is a bit, I'm probably missing tidbits of information I usually mention, but I don't want to take up too much time on this topic because it's already been talked about for years now.
Hmm.
um I just made it a point, like I said, to just let everybody know in case they're like uncomfortable by that or just don't want to associate with that, which I completely respect. God damn it, blah, you keep me over. So, but everyone just kept telling me like, dude, you were a kid. Like seriously, like older people and people like around my age. We were just like they just kept telling me like seriously, you're taking it. What? I clicked Uno. Whatever. I was sitting there and they were taking it so seriously. And you shouldn't need to be taking this seriously because you were still learning, bro. Like this is not on you. Another win for the book.
Freaking the disrespect of that.
And at the time, even still, from all the situation, dude, my confidence, my self-confidence and everything was just so all-time low.
Yeah.
I had to teach myself how to breathe properly again. I had such severe anxiety. If someone sent me a cryptic message, I would go into shock. It would like freak me out. Like things I deserved. But just there was so much going on behind closed doors that affected me so drastically. And because of that, when people would tell me stuff like this, I would literally like pretty much be in my head like, no, I deserve this. I had this coming. I should have known better. But in reality, like I did it, I didn't know better.
Yeah.
And it was a very hard hurdle to get over for a very long time. And I still have anxiety and I had to go to therapy and I needed to I wanted to educate myself, so I spoke to in real life locally. I spoke to people who really were um like harassed and assaulted by like true predators and true like people who have like very ill intent, you know what I mean? And they really painted the picture of like the severity of this kind of stuff in any capacity. And I really felt a lot of remorse, and that's kind of when I sort of took a 180 and I started just anyone I ever affected. It was obviously not a clean cut process. Like there were still moments I fumbled, but for the most part, I slowly started to learn how to apologize to people and show my like how to be genuine and like have that sincerity. I learned that over a course of time, and my friends helped me along the way. My new friends. And I started to become more comfortable with talking about it and being able to open up and also talk about my own opinion and perspective on the situation. And I started realizing, you know what? How I was treated about that was extremely unfair. It was unfair, you know? And then that's when I had that conversation with the old content group and they even apologized and we talked about it. And for the first time in a year and a half, which was when we had this conversation, I truly felt like understood, heard,
Yeah.
which you never hear that when it comes to a situation with a victim and, an aggressor or anything like that. You never hear that from the aggressor's side,
Mm-hmm.
And then I started having that understanding of like how many situations like this spanning across any sort of like crime or stuff or like just unchecked mental stability. How many situations like this where we've like just destroyed or completely ruined someone's life and no one stopped to ask like what are you doing? Like where's your head at with this?
Yeah.
You can't sympathize with every criminal. Don't get me wrong. There are people who are intentionally doing it, know what they're doing and continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was one of those exceptions where I wasn't taught the severity and like my actions have consequences not just for me but the people around me. And then it just really opened my eyes. And that's why I say that I'm grateful for it, because if I wouldn't have done that, who knows where I'd be now,
Yeah.
But I took the information, the knowledge and the lesson and like presented in front of me. And these bots are just kicking our ass, dude.
Yeah, they're I don't know if there's even a difficulty setting, but
they're good.
I need to check it.
I think they've been practicing. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like maybe they're acting like this is their only purpose. Like, god dang.
Like, what the fuck, man? But yeah, so I won't drag on that topic any further. Just to give you some ideas, like
Yeah.
if you have questions, absolutely feel free to ask about that kind of situation. Because, like I mentioned before,
Sure.
I have no hesitation speaking about it anymore.
Yeah. No, I just I didn't, it was like you were referring to, well, that, but I didn't have the, context to really be on on the same page fully in the conversation. So I was just wanting to ask
I
just
get that.
I did jot down the timestamp when you started talking, and I just now did the final one. If you don't want that in the episode, I can exclude it because really the purpose of the question was wanting to, better understanding me, not for listeners or whatever. They can go screw themselves. I'm kidding about that part, but just saying that that was, so.
For the tone of the video, you're more than welcome to leave it in or take it out. I'll leave it up to your preference.
Okay.
Because it is a serious topic, but also I do use it as a tool to kind of advocate for more like boys turning into men to like take that time to educate themselves and realize like what you do with like women or any partner of your preference, like it has an effect. Like you should be aware of your decisions, your actions, especially when it comes to sexual intimacy. And also sexual intimacy before being of age is not cool. It's really not. It only presented more issues and honestly and opened the door to like addictions and shit I didn't need. So if you are pure of heart and haven't had and are a virgin, continue. You're doing a great job. You are very strong and I'm proud of you. Because you don't really need the other shit. Not yet, you know what I mean? Until you personally think you are ready, you know?
Yeah. No, I think that no, I don't have any further questions about the that situation or stuff, and I like that you're using that to push for a learning kind of trying to think of how to phrase it. You've definitely learned from it, and you're trying to utilize that to make sure others are educated in it as well.
Right. Not only have I bettered am I bettering myself, but I've been told many times from those around me, even newcomers, that I have bettered myself and they see the improvement. I've had 2 friends of mine since the situation, friends of mine that I met before the situation, like back when I was unmasked, reach out to me and talk and communicate, and they're just happy I'm doing okay. They're happy that I kept going, and then I found something to fight for, you know, and to really like remember who I am. It opened the door to a lot of meditation and positive habits and like practices, and I slowly was able to, you know, creep off of those less desirable. Trina, is it serious? Less desirable like habits or like actions. And so yeah, I would definitely say if you are not educated on that kind of situation, especially teenagers in high school, it is such a hectic time of your life. It's not one of those things to skip out on. Definitely be sure to like teach yourself, like talk to other people, you know, have that understanding. Um yeah.
Well, going back into your channel, I do have a couple more questions, and then that's the end of mine. And also if you have any sort of topics you want to bring up, any questions, or anything that you wish to talk about, feel free. It doesn't have to be, just me asking you if
What the has happened?
Oh, so I had 2 4s. I put one down, which was my Uno, and then I could jump in, so I did, and then won.
That's so wild. They literally called the Uno though, and then the bomb went off, and you got a +5, but you still won. That's wild.
Yeah, the bomb part kind of confused me, but either way, just saying that, like, I'm kind of directing the flow of the episode, the podcast, whatever, with questions. But if there's anything you want to bring up, feel free. That doesn't have to be just me. But anyway,
yeah, for sure.
Something else that I like to bring up is looking, like I said, I do kind of a surface view of the channel and stuff, and Something else I'll do is sort by most popular. And your most popular video is the tutorial on Since I Saw Vienna. Um, I mistyped my question here, but my first thought is to ask, like, as the creator, you know, what do
Mhm.
you feel made this video successful? But like, oh, I see what I was saying. My first thought is to ask that, but I feel like that's pretty evident looking at it. You know, it's a popular song and it's a tutorial on how to do it. Um, but what I think I'll do is refine the question and ask, did this solidify the musical involvement in your channel, seeing as how well this did?
I will say that yeah, it definitely made me want to do some more music on my channel. I was like, oh, okay, so there is a market for this. There is an audience for it, and I love doing it. So I can like actually do it without my channel like fading into obscurity because like people didn't quite find it up to par with their taste.
Hmm.
So I started making covers as well. I want to say the covers came after a cover or two came after that tutorial,
Mm-hmm.
but so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll continue to do some music. I wanted to stray away. Well, I mean, I've had the idea of going back to doing a guitar tutorial too, and I still might. We'll see. But it wasn't necessarily because of like the music involved, like the artist involved. It was like, yeah, I just kind of enjoy doing that.
Hmm. Yeah. Cool. What Well, I guess you kind of answered that. I was going to say, what insights to your own like content strategy did that video doing well bring? Um, but I suppose if it was just like, cool, I can do music stuff and not feel like I found the market for it, so that's good. Like kind of thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Um, so I guess maybe you did answer that.
I would say one of the more popular videos. I honestly to this day I still don't know why that video blew up the way it did. But if I could choose a close second, would be the I edited a video for Jay Schlatt.
Hmm.
That one definitely that one definitely gave me the idea of like my content strategy being uh like it was more so the content strategy being my editing style. People
Hmm.
really ate that editing style up and loved that editing style. I was like, okay, and this is the hardest I tend to go. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And so like I'd say that one had more of an impact than the tutorial video by itself.
Okay. So maybe not necessarily higher view count, but it had the higher impact.
Right. It's because like I did a Wilbursoot song, but the Wilbursoot community, that kind of community, was not who I wanted. Like I was focused on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Jay Schlatt is more in my neck of the woods.
Hmm.
That's the kind of community I can say that I wanted to like attract.
Gotcha.
Bois.
Yeah. God.
And whooping our ass.
Yeah, that's pretty well the. Oh, I got a medal. Play
That's huge.
100 skip cards. Huh. Okay. um, it appears that you do stream fairly often as well. And I was wondering what the direction of streaming is and how it kind of plays into your content. Like, obviously, there's individual video ideas, and there's directions you
Mhm.
have with that, outcomes you wish to attain, and all that kind of stuff. There's you market videos with things in mind. How does your live streams differ or relate to that, and how does it all work together?
Um. So I emulate a lot. A lot of content creators do this, so this won't be the first you hear this. But like, I have you. When it comes to content creation, I have YouTubers I draw inspiration from, and then when it comes to streaming, I have streamers I take inspiration from. And I really
Okay.
wanted to be able to do. My idea was that I wanted to do streaming and then turn them into highlights videos.
Hmm.
If it wasn't apparent enough that hasn't happened quite yet, I do have a second channel. There's like one video up, but I haven't really gotten around to doing like highlight videos the way I wanted to.
Hmm.
But so I wanted to do some Connor Eats Pants slash Moist Critical style streaming
Hmm.
with that kind of humor, and I felt like that was the most appropriate place to do it. So I just started doing that, and I was also like, there's some ideas you can do with streaming that I feel you can't necessarily do with YouTube, at least my kind of videos that I already make. So I
Yeah.
wanted to have that kind of outlet and also be able to have that what feels like more live, obviously, and raw conversations with my friends and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Like I can have that kind of resource to do that, and people can tune in and get some more insight on us and like listen to what silly things we that come out of our silly mouths, you know.
Yeah.
So that paved the way for me to want to get back into streaming.
So to kind of peel back the curtain a little bit, and also to kind of have a more uh, in a more real kind of
Uh-huh.
viewing moment with your audience, because like
Yeah,
they're
cuz like
watching you, if they're watching your videos, obviously you've tailored those, whereas if they're watching a live stream, it's like as it
it's just
happens they're
me.
interacting with you more directly, and there's that kind of
Right.
connection.
And again, the goal was transparency. I wanted people to see me as like who I am as a
Hmm.
person, not so much as the person, to a degree. I do my best in my videos to show who I am as a person, like as much as I can, as genuine as I can.
Hmm.
But obviously some things get cut, some jokes don't make the
Sure.
final. Yeah. So um the stream just gave me the idea of the stream gave me the possibility to be able to be like, this is me. These are the
Yeah.
jokes I make, the things that I think. I get to think out loud, and you guys get to hear it. So you guys get to jot down the way my psyche works, or just
Yeah.
call me a fucking wingbat and then leave the stream. Either one works. So
Hey, whatever works. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's definitely something I like about streaming as well. Um, just the element of this is uncut, unedited, unfiltered. Well,
yeah,
other than my own choices of filtering, but uh,
yeah, exactly.
whereas like I would like, I don't know, I feel like in my mind I would like that kind of um behind the scenes, kind of like this is the real kind of conversations I have. However, I community guidelines, so you know because our my friends, god help them.
Completely understandable. Yeah, I
But
will
yeah.
say that my friends say the wildest fucking thing. The biggest joke is ironic racism, but it ironically, on top of the irony, is that most of my friends who say the racist things are against black people are black.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's very interesting just watching that unfold.
Jeez.
Nowadays, a lot of people wouldn't be able to. I'd say a majority of people would not be able to handle that.
Hmm.
Um, but I I don't really fucking care because it's like I'm not the one saying it, and I think
Yeah,
it's funny. And if you don't, well, then, okay, find a different content creator. You know what I mean? Find your community that suits you better. Then
sure. um so I guess that last question was kind of backing out a bit of like an overview, but still, I guess to further do it, looking at your approach to content, where it is now and where you started, how would you say that it has changed?
Um,
If it has. I mean, maybe you had the same, kind of goal all in mind the entire time.
on
But
this full ride, not just my channel, but as a person as well. I've just kind of found myself going from emulating what I think was what people want to see and like people I enjoyed and looked up to. I just began to be able to embrace myself and my own personality and let it grow and flourish over time. And it's kind of that's why it has turned into what it is today, where it's I can really see my stuff and I can see, yeah, I see this subtle correlation. I can see this subtle, inspiration, but down to its core, when you listen to what we're saying, when we listen to the jokes we make, it's me. And not necessarily just me, but it's me, it's my friends, it's the occasional content creator cameo. Like, it's showing our best moments as who we are.
Yeah.
And I like that aspect the most. My videos went from this is something funny in the moment, piggybacking off of memes of the time, to these are moments that me and my friends had where we laughed our ass off, and I preserved it in the most appropriate way. And I know that myself, along with my friends, we can go back and we can watch those videos again and relive those moments again and laugh the same amount as we did then.
Yeah.
And I think that is where I've found myself to be happiest with content creation.
What does the future of Takeshine hold? Upcoming projects. You just released a larger project titled the Discord album. Is there anything similar to that in the works? And side note, what the hell are the other projects that you wouldn't tell me?
So we got one big project coming up very soon, which is the one you just mentioned, that involves a plethora of content creators, big and small, that I have been putting together with a very trusting friend for months now. I'm very excited to unveil, which is going to happen very soon.
And so I
But
still no
that's
clarity.
all I can say. Other than that, I have an album that I'm on that should be coming out soon, relatively soon anyways. And then I also have 2 of my own personal albums coming out. I'm really playing into the music side of my character, like my mascot, the raccoon with the guitar. I'm really playing into that this time around. So
Okay.
I'm dropping hopefully a total of 4 projects music wise this year. I have another big content creator um collaborative video coming out relatively soon. Big streams ideas just all around. I'm really starting to flesh out my neighborhood and who I am. So that's what this year looks like.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, dude, the curiosity is murdering me on the
Good.
one project because you mentioned that, and I'm like, yeah, but like, what? I need info.
The
but
anticipation, man. That's what
yeah,
we're aiming
no,
for.
but definitely, I'm interested in helping out with that. I definitely want to get into doing more collaborative work because like a lot of my content right now is a lot of how tos, and I'm really trying to pivot from that because as good as they are for views, I mean, they got me monetized. Like there's benefit. However, there's not a huge audience building part of that because they search out a question, I answer it, and then they're like, thanks, bye. Like there's no real reason for them to stick
Yeah.
around. So I definitely want to
And
start doing other stuff, and I'm trying to figure out what that best looks like.
let
Um,
me I can
but
get
go ahead.
let me give you some tools of advice on that because I just watched my friend do the exact thing. So, and on that note, shout out Gooper. Gooper is someone who I don't know much about, but I whenever we hop in a VC, it feels like we've known each other for some time. He's a
Hmm.
very awesome dude. He was doing VR videos on a specific community, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but he would do videos on that and they would pop the fuck off. But he began to find himself not wanting to do it anymore, and he honestly was thinking about quitting YouTube entirely because he didn't know how to make that transition. He felt stuck to that audience, and that audience was slowly dying.
Hmm.
Then, but he persisted, and he more so focused on the people around him. That's how we met, and then he met other big content creators he's become friends with, and he was very, very hesitant on the idea, but I encouraged him because I knew it would be very good for his channel
Hmm.
that he go through with this video idea. And the concept, which is out now, was that he would make a satire expose, which you don't really see often because there's so many bad people in the world. They're usually just genuine exposés, unfortunately.
Hmm.
But he made a satire expose on one of his friends who was a big content creator. And he was just so terrified of posting it because he was like, what if it's not well received? Not just by his viewers, but his friend alone. What if he takes it too seriously and he's offended? Like, what if his community comes out to attack me? Just like a bunch of fears on his mind. But I told him just go forward, and if you know this guy's character, you know who he is as a person, you don't gotta worry about stuff like that. Just stick with your gut.
Mm-hmm.
And the video went up, and it's performed like on the same level, if not even better than his own videos.
Hmm.
And I'm just so proud for him because now he's got that stepping stone to make that transition he desperately needed, you know?
Hmm.
But that didn't come from that video. It came from, the networking behind it. The cementing of a community where he found himself in, where he was like, I'm comfortable here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would just say, don't be afraid to take time and assess those around you and really find where you say in your head, like, I enjoy doing this. This
Mm-hmm.
is where I want to be. And then from there, everything else will just kind of come with it.
Yeah, I guess part of mine is still kind of refining the area that I feel I want to transition to.
Yeah.
Because I definitely like doing the goofy, funny moment things like the dumb forest video that you had commented on. But it's like, I don't know. As much as I enjoy doing that kind of stuff, I feel like there's a lot of growth to be had in my own ability to make it. Like, because the editing I think is fine, but trying to like refine a story out of it and really market it correctly is where I struggle.
Yeah.
Uh, but either way, yeah. I mean, when I
What I'll
transition, I've got
say,
some ideas and definitely appreciate the input with it.
I didn't know how to transition until I just jumped in.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to make that jump. If it wasn't obvious enough from my story, my background to who I am now, I tend to jump before looking. I've gotten really better with deciding if that jump should happen at all, but nevertheless, like, I I can do that. And when I do that, I have my sense of adaptability where it's like, okay, something needs to happen in order for this to play out positively, you know?
Yeah.
So if you want to do something, even if you don't know how to do it just yet, just jump in and do it. Just fucking jump in and do it. What do you have to truly lose? If the video doesn't go well, just take a page out of my book and unlist it, and just keep practicing until you get it right. Because it really is something like that you can do.
Yeah. Okay. Where I initially was going with that was just that I'm always down for uh, collaborations and stuff. If you ever want to play something, make a video out of it, or want other outside input, like as in this project kind of thing,
Oh
that
yeah.
I'm always down. Um, I don't have any more questions on my page. So I don't know if you have anything you're wanting to talk about real quick, but I think we'll close out, if you don't, with kind of like your plugs, like where can, if it's more than just YouTube or whatever, wherever you want people to go, if there's anybody even watching,
I would just say God, I hate doing this, but I know I have to. It's necessary for growth. But look out for those projects that I mentioned before coming to my channel, Takeshine on YouTube, and any of my musical ventures, Takeshine on Spotify. Also, if you really want to support me, either like in time, and just like kind of help me get over that hump that people actually watch me and just want to support me monetarily in the meantime until I get monetized, you're more than welcome to shoot over to one of my streams and come listen to me sing or scream at people. It's Takeshine Live. All my other socials are Takeshine LOL. That is about it.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you have a content creator whose story you want to hear, please comment their channel name and I'll try to get them as a guest. If you are a content creator that would love to share your story, please fill out the linked request form in the description. Otherwise, we'll see you next time for another episode of Uno Mas.